Hey everyone, welcome back to Enjoy the Journey. It has been exactly 7 days since I last competed in the first ever Ironman 70.3 Oregon. Is this the race for you? What do you need to know? And should you sign up next year? My thoughts coming up. Bring it away. That's up. There you go. I'll lock it up. All right, is this the race for you? Well, that depends on a lot of things. What are your goals in a 70.3 distance, and what do you want out of a race? If you're looking for a PR, a well-organized event, a flat course, a fast course, and a very welcoming community, then I'd say yes, this is the course for you. But there are some things you'll want to know before signing up. All right, before I get into my review of this race, first off, I want to give a quick disclosure. I'm not a professional triathlete. I'm just your standard average age group triathlete, nothing special. My experience in the sport of triathlon is limited to just the age group bracket. Also, I wasn't contacted by Ironman to do a review on their race, so everything that I say in this video is 100% my opinion and my opinion only. All right, I've written down some notes. So the swim, it takes place in the Willamette River. The current in this river is absolutely ripping. This is important to know because if you're not comfortable in the water, this could cause some water swimming anxiety. There are some very shallow sections, and in those sections, the river is at its fastest pace. So knowing how to read a river, knowing where to put yourself in the river would be really important going into this race. Typically, swimming a straight line from buoy to buoy is going to be your fastest course on a swim course. Not necessarily the case in a river, as the current and the speed of that current changes from sections within the river. So just for context, it typically will take me 35 to 40 minutes to swim a 1.2 mile swim course. Last week in Salem, I swam this in 23 minutes and change, so that's how fast this river is. I'll take that PR. It almost felt like cheating. Okay, the bike course. I thought it was absolutely amazing. It's a mostly flat, out and back course with some rolling hills. There is one very short, somewhat steep hill that you'll have to climb. I'm not a fast climber, and it took me approximately 2 minutes from the bottom to the top. So it's over relatively quick. You'll get to the top before your heart rate even has a chance to catch up. The course takes you south out of Salem through wine country. So you're gonna pass a lot of vineyards. I thought the course was very scenic. I enjoyed almost every single section of it. There are some points on the course with some potholes or ruts in the road that could cause you some troubles in a race, but I thought Ironman did a really good job of marking every single one of these spots. So at no point was I concerned about my safety on the bike. For a little bit of context, it typically will take me about 3 hours to complete 56 miles in a half Ironman race. I was really excited, really thrilled that it was a 16-minute PR for me, so I finished in 2 hours and 44 minutes. I will take that PR happily. Okay, for the run, I think this is where you're gonna have most of the feedback. The run, obviously 13.1 miles. It is also an out and back course. So given what the course was and what the area offered, if I were to be a guessing man, I would say that next year's course is not gonna be the same as what this year's was. I think what Ironman was trying to do was get a run course approved as quick as possible, as they were trying to put this race together in the 11th hour. So could the course have been better? Absolutely, yes. I would expect that that's what happens next year, and if that is the case, it's gonna be an amazing run course. The first 2 miles, and because it's an out and back, the last 2 miles of this course I was not a fan of. It takes you through some really rough gravel sections mixed with a lot of dirt, so there's a lot of dust in the air as you're running through this. But then it spits you out into this beautiful park that I think there's so much potential for such an amazing run course next year. The course also offered some shade, but there were also some very exposed sections to the sun. So after, 2, 3, 4 hours on a bike, like, you're gonna be hurting a little bit on the run in this course, especially on a hot day. If I were to race this course next year, what are some things that I would want to know going into this race? First off, I would learn how to swim in a river by knowing how to read and understand the currents. I'd also be ready for very poor visibility on the swim due to the sunrise happening directly in front of your face of where you're gonna wanna be sighting. I was, for the most part, blind for the entire course, and that's pretty much the case for most people that I spoke with. For the bike, I would be prepared for constant work, constant turnover with your legs, because there's not a lot of climbing and there's not a lot of descending, which translates to you're gonna be working the entire time. I would also be prepared to have a really good nutrition plan on the bike, because if it's going to be a hot day, you're gonna be hitting the run section where the temperatures have risen quite a bit. And if you didn't pay attention to your nutrition plan on the bike, it's gonna hurt on the run. So the best thing you can know going into the run is take care of yourself on the bike. Nutrition, hydration, electrolytes, all those things. I would also, depending on what the course looks like, I would want to know if there are some gravel sections, and I would choose what shoes I decide to run in based off of that. Okay, so my overall impression of the race. I thought the race director for this race did an absolutely amazing job. I thought that the race was very well organized. I thought that the course on the bike and the run, they were stunning, they were amazing, it was beautiful, and it was fast. So not only was I getting a taking in a good scene, but I was also getting PRs while I was doing it. I also thought that the community was really excited to have us there, and that made the experience so much better. And as usual with Ironman, like, the volunteers were absolutely phenomenal, and that was the cherry on top, right? So overall, like, this was a great event, and if you're looking for a positive experience with a 70.3 distance, I think this race is for you. So should you sign up next year? Heck yeah, you should. All right, everybody, those are my thoughts on Ironman 70.3 Oregon. Again, my opinion only. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can be notified when there's a new video coming out. I appreciate your time, and as always, enjoy the journey.